Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV. It is Monday review time as I take a look back at Saturday's crazy 3-3 draw up at Doncaster Rovers, where we led 2-0 at half time, got pegged back to 2 each, led with a minute to go and still only drew the game, conceding a deflected equaliser in injury time. Yeah, one of them games that was good for the neutral, I'm guessing, but probably not so much for the heart rate of coaching staff and fans of the two teams involved. But I think the biggest thing is if we'd been offered a point beforehand, we'd have taken it. Of course, it's frustrating that we've led 2-0 at the break and then got pegged back and then taken the lead again, approaching the final minute, and still not managed to see it out. But as I say, if it had been the other way round and we'd been 1-0 down and equalised in the last couple of minutes and drawn 1-0, I think everyone would have said it was a good point. So it's still a point on the board against a side that started the day in the playoff zone and finished the day in the playoff zone, who have been very good for the most part this season. So on the positive side, that's what we have to look at, I think. We scored 3 really good goals. Barry Fuller, first one in 161 appearances for the club over 2 spells. The only thing that topped his finish from about 30 yards was his gif on the club official feed. And then Tom Eaves done really well to control the ball from our new ball playing centre half, Gabriel Zaquani. Decent signing he looks. Took the ball out of the sky and managed to beat his defender and then bent one in the bottom corner. And at that point we were cruising, and it looked like we was going to claim all 3 points. Obviously in between that happening and then Max Amar's third goal for us, we conceded 2, but Max's is a really good finish as well from a corner. He does have that in his locker. Composure in front of goal, similar to the goal against Peterborough at home last season when he could have lashed at the ball and probably skied it into the Rainham. But again, he took his time, had a good touch and got it out his feet, and it was a really good finish into the far corner. And at that point, again, we thought we'd won the game. 3-2 up with not long to go. And then, unfortunately, it was the same player, Max Amar. Can't really fault him. He's tried to get in the way of a shot in injury time and it's taken a big nick off him, and it's left Thomas Holy with no chance, and we've ended up drawing 3 each. The 3 goals we've conceded are rather soft again. We still don't seem to have the balance right between attack and defence. Last season we struggled to score but didn't concede many. This season we're scoring for fun, but we're shipping them in at the other end all too regularly as well, and at the moment that's why we're still entrenched in the bottom half of the table. If we can get it right in terms of defensive stability, then I think we'll soon start climbing the league. But obviously, proof is in the pudding. You have to start doing it on the grass and not just talking about it and doing it on the training ground. But yeah, so there was positives and negatives again from the performance and the result. But bottom line for me it was a good point against a good side, and we take that into tomorrow night. We go to Plymouth, which we'll get onto in a little while. But there was a little bit about Tom Eaves, our centre forward, in the paper, needing more protection, and I couldn't agree more with this. I've said it at plenty of games that I've seen this season, all the home games and Portsmouth away, and even going back to last season, he gets his shirt pulled, he has people climbing on him, he's consistently being fouled from behind, and then it seems the first sort of niggly foul that he commits, he gets penalised for despite not getting anything off officials. And it doesn't even seem to matter whether he's playing at home or away. He just very rarely gets anything in my eyes, and I think that it's something that needs to be looked at, and it's something that Steve Lovell talks about in the paper. He says the amount of times he gets fouled and doesn't get anything, then a simple little tap on the ankle, and the referee, Graham Salisbury, gives a free kick the other way. He is fouled every single game. He never gets a thing, and it is getting ridiculous. It is happening every week. Absolutely spot on for me. I don't think he gets enough protection. I don't know whether that's because of his size and how he plays the game, so that referees maybe look at him and think it's him that's being the aggressor or whatever. But for me, he doesn't get enough free kicks, and he does get penalised for offences that look a lot less than stuff he's having done to him. So something to keep an eye on over the next few weeks. But yeah, back to the game itself. As always, Luke Cordell's final paragraph in his report, he says, the stats will suggest that they, meaning Gills, deserve nothing, but football is all about goals, and after scoring 3 great ones, it would have been harsh on them to leave with nothing. have to agree. I mean, if you go away from home and score 3 goals in any game, you shouldn't really be losing. But the flip side of that, I mean, there's a comment from Steve Lovell talking about away form and home form, and he says we have got results against 2 of the form teams in the league, and maybe it's the pressure of playing at home, you don't know, alluding to our form at the Priestfield, which is shocking and is showing no signs of improving at the moment, and it's going to have to shortly, because I think after tomorrow night, I think we've got 5 home games on the bounce or something like that coming up very soon, including an FA Cup tie, which I will talk about in a second. But yeah, back to the game again. Lovell went on to say, on Saturday we got ourselves in front and they had to chuck men forward, but we defended well for the most of the game. We conceded 2 set pieces and a deflected goal. When you are down there, the luck doesn't go your way. I think Doncaster fans might point to the fact, Steve, that they had 19 shots off target and 13 on target during the game. So I think we did have luck go our way to a degree. Yes, I agree that we've scored 3 really good goals and probably didn't deserve to lose the game because of that, but we've still shipped 3 at the other end. So I'll take the point and run. But yeah, anyway, that's enough about Saturday's game. This man coming up on your screen has gone out on loan again today. That is Liam Nash, our striker, who has exited the club for a second loan spell this season. He's already had a period away at Dulwich Hamlet in Conference South. National League South, sorry. I always call it Conference, always will do probably. But he's joined Concord Rangers now for a month in the same division. I believe that's the club where Billy Knott is currently plying his trade. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on Nashy down there and see whether he gets more game time than he did at Dulwich, because I think he only started twice for them in his time at the club. It'd be great if he can go and get some minutes under his belt and score a couple of goals and get some confidence. But I did allude to it a few weeks ago. There's plenty of fans that still say, oh well, he deserves a chance and he should be starting for us. But my question to them fans would be based on what? He's still not scored a senior goal for us since arriving in the summer of 2017. I think sometimes we just have to, you know, maybe say, unfortunately, yes, it was a gamble that was worth taking. It hasn't worked. Is it going to work? I'm not sure. I mean, how much time do we keep giving the lad? How many loan spells do we keep giving the lad? We don't want to be wasting our time, and we certainly don't want to be wasting Nash's time. So maybe if it doesn't work out and we get to January, maybe he can go and join a lower league club on a permanent deal and get games and get a full season under his belt, or half a season, and then maybe start working his way up the ladder. But nonetheless, all the best to Liam Nash at Concord Rangers for his loan spell, and I hope it does him good and he gets some minutes under his belt. But yeah, slightly earlier this evening, in fact only about 45 minutes ago, the draw for the FA Cup first round was made. And we will face National League outfit Hartlepool at home weekend of the 9th, 10th, 11th or 12th of November. I'm assuming it's not going to be on telly, so I would imagine it will be Saturday the 10th at 3 PM. So that will be at the Medway Priestfield Stadium. A lot of fans wanted an away day, which is fair enough, but for me, we have to take the positives out of the draw. I mean, yes, we're at home, so that's no guarantee that we're going to win, but it's a winnable looking tie, which would then see us into the second round and a step closer to the third round when all the big boys come in, the Championship and the Premiership sides, which is where all the glitz and the glamour and the money seems to be. And obviously the main thing for me is that we can get to, if we can get to that round and earn a plum draw, then we make a bit of money for the football club. So yeah, looking forward to that in a couple of weeks. But before then, we do have the small matter of a league game tomorrow night, and we travel to here. For even the most hardened of our core away support, Tuesday night, middle of October, away to Plymouth is going to be a long old trek, so fair play to anyone that is going down to Home Park tomorrow evening to watch that. Fair play to all of you. I wish I could join you, but I cannot. Time constraints and money constraints does not allow. But looking forward to see how we get on. In terms of form of the two sides, we are both struggling. We currently sit 20th, 19th in League One with just 3 wins from our 13 games. Plymouth, they are rock bottom with just a solitary victory this season at home to at home to Wimbledon on the 6th of October. That was a couple of weeks ago. But they are in an horrendous run of form. They are a shadow of the side that was so close to the playoffs last season. I think Graham Carey was brilliant for them last term. He's got 3 goals in 16 appearances this season, so that sort of mirrors them. He's dropped right off. They've dropped right off. They've only scored 11 goals in the league in 14 games, which tells its own story. And to compound that, they've conceded 25. So there's only 3 teams that have scored less in the division, and there's only 2 that have actually conceded more, as well as us who've conceded the same amount, funnily enough. But yeah, they're having a really bad time of it. I know their manager, Derek Adams, has been quite vocal in the press down there the last couple of days, I think, talking about their home fans and creating a poisonous atmosphere, which isn't helping anyone. And I think we can probably relate to that ourselves, that some of our fans do get on the backs of our players very quickly, and I don't think it helps. But we're away tomorrow night. In terms of form, last 6, they've picked up 4 points from 18 from the last 6 league games, and we've picked up 5. So that tells you all you need to know. And while we're both down in the bottom part of the table at the moment, in terms of home and away form, there's mirrors their overall. They've taken 4 points from the last 6 games at home park. We've taken 5 points from 18 on the road in our last 6, but then 5 points have come in our last 3 games at Shrewsbury, Portsmouth and Doncaster. So we are running into a bit of form on the road. In terms of team news, no Dean Parrott, no Brandon Hanlon, but Regan Charles Cook should be back. I would imagine he'll probably start on the bench. In terms of a team, I wouldn't change too much from Saturday. I'd only make 1 change, and this was one that I wanted to do at the weekend. I would play Bradley Garmston at left back and move Barry Fuller back to right back. I cannot see Steve Lovell going 3 at the back. So my team would be Thomas Holy, Barry Fuller, Max Amar, Gabriel Zaquani, Bradley Garmston, Alex Lacey, Mark Byrne, Callum Riley, Bradley Stevenson, Tom Eves and Josh Parker. I know we conceded 3 at the weekend, but it was a positive result, so I wouldn't want to be changing too much. And for me, on the bench, I would go Tom Hadler, Luke O'Neill, Billy Bingham, Josh Rees, Regan Charles Cook, Elliot List and Connor Wilkinson if he's available. I'm not sure whether there was an injury at the weekend. If he's not fit, then I would leave Navin Deseri on the bench. But there wasn't too much in terms of information regarding Wilco's omission at the weekend. Right, it's that time, and it is prediction time. And I am just writing it down. I am going to go for Plymouth 1, Gillingham 2. I'm going to go goal scorers Tom Eves and Josh Parker. I think we will win tomorrow night. As I say, our form on the road has been decent over the last 3. We've picked up 5 points and are undefeated in them 3 games against 2 sides that are flying high and a team around us at the bottom in Shrewsbury. So hopefully if we can pick up that win, climb a couple of places up the table. We still do have this game in hand, which comes at the start of November against Blackpool, the game that was moved because of the relaying of the pitch at the Priestfield. So yeah, safe journey to all you that are going tomorrow. I'll be back Thursday, hopefully with Boz, for a weekly review, a look back at Plymouth, and a look ahead to Bradford at the weekend, which would be another massive game, another side that are right at the bottom, struggling a lot more than I thought they would be at the beginning of the season when I did my season preview. But as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for doing all you do, and until next time, up the Gills.